it's Gary Vaynerchuk from WineLibraryTV.com, and this is a special exclusive for MainStreet.com. I'm looking forward to providing a lot of phenomenal wine content for this site as often as possible, at least once a week from what I hear. We're in Bordeaux, in Saint-Emilion, and we're tasting through a bunch of wine, which is why I have a little bit of a fatigued look. Hopefully in the future I'll be a little fresher. But what I really wanted to talk to you guys about today is Bordeaux value. I think when we talk about Bordeaux, especially in America, the first presumption, that first thought, like when doctors say, I say a word, you give us a reaction. When we do it in the wine world, or in the world in general, when we say Bordeaux, I think the natural reaction from everybody is premium, expensive, class, high-end. And all of that, of course, is true, as Bordeaux is clearly producing some of the best, if not the best, wines in the world. However, and I think this is completely under the radar and something I'm extremely passionate about and want to articulate to you today because I think it's going to save you a couple of bucks or two. Bordeaux is probably the leader in value-driven wines. Now, we don't know about that. It's not talked about. It's not sexy. And that's the problem, that nobody's really referring to it. However, even with the dollar getting its face beat in by the euro, for example, today I'm tasting wines that are going to roll into the shop $12, $15, $16 a bottle, sometimes even less, that have enormous quality, real terroir, and are truthful wines with real backbone. I think there's a lot of great wines. You know, if you watch me on Wine Library TV, you know I'm passionate about Portugal and California and other places. There's plenty of places I think that make very nice wine. However, there's truly a sense of place, of terroir in Bordeaux, and you can get a lot of different areas, a lot of places people don't talk about, like Fronsac, or just Bordeaux appellation, where they're able to blend, which is kind of looked down upon in the Bordeaux world, but the norm everywhere else is a really interesting factor in producing some very value-driven wines. And so, as I was tasting through today, I said, you know what, this would be a great video to start my MainStreet.com world off with. A video about talking about how Bordeaux is clearly producing tremendous wines. Now, let's talk about vintage-driven. I think 2005 has been well established as an amazing vintage, and I was very lucky to try some 05s here today and through this trip that are bringing enormous thunder to your world at a very valued price. But there's some really interesting things going on. I think the 06s have a lot of backbone as well and are interesting. And as I'm tasting through on this trip the 07s, I'm finding a vintage that is better than most people are talking about, and number two, a lot more drinkable. And now, with America drinking 95% of its wines within the first week, you're going to be looking for wines that are drinking excellent right off the bat. And so, on an investment kick, I think the 2005s are still the play. If you put away 05s, you're going to be able to make some money. But if you're rolling in that $10 to $20 everyday drinking, and so many of you are drinking California Cabernet and Australian Shiraz, I think it's time for you to open up your mind, expand your palate, and realize there is enormous value in Bordeaux going forward. I hope to be bringing you a crap load of awesome content in the future, and I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you later.